Picture this. You're sitting in a dimly lit bar in London, the kind where famous faces hide behind shadows and whiskey glasses. A figure slouches in the corner booth, hat pulled low. Rings catching the amber light. It's Johnny Depp, and he's not the swaggering pirate king the world fell in love with anymore. He's a man who lost everything. His reputation, his fortune, his place in Hollywood's golden circle. But tonight, someone walks through that door who might just change everything. Someone who sees past the headlines and the courtroom battles. Someone who thinks Johnny Depp isn't finished yet. This is the story of how one of Hollywood's most enigmatic actors fell from grace, and how another Hollywood outsider might be plotting the most unexpected comeback in cinema history. Let's rewind to 1984. Johnny Depp is 21 years old. He's got a guitar in his hands and dreams of rock stardom burning in his chest. Music is everything to him. Acting, that's not even on his radar. But fate has other plans. His then-wife, makeup artist Lori Allison, introduces him to actor Nicolas Cage. One conversation changes everything. Cage sees something in Johnny that Johnny doesn't even see in himself. Raw magnetism. An ability to disappear into characters so completely that audiences forget they're watching an actor at all. "You should try acting," Cage tells him over dinner. One night in 1984, Johnny laughs it off, but the seed is planted. Months later, he's standing in front of casting directors for A Nightmare on Elm Street. He has no training, no experience, just instinct. And somehow, impossibly, he gets the part. The boy who wanted to be a rock star just became Glenn Lance, his first victim. Freddy Krueger's razor fingers drag him into a bed and spit him back out as a fountain of blood. It's grotesque. It's memorable. And it launches Johnny Depp into a trajectory he never saw coming. But success doesn't come easy. For years, Johnny fights to be taken seriously. Hollywood wants to box him in. Pretty boy roles, romantic leads, the kind of parts that pay well but leave actors hollow inside. Then comes 21 Jump Street. In 1987, Johnny becomes Officer Tom Hansen. Young, good-looking, the perfect undercover cop posing as a high school student. Teenage girls across America plaster his face on bedroom walls. Magazine covers, fan clubs. The whole machinery of celebrity worship kicks into overdrive, and Johnny hates every second of it. "I felt like a product," he would later say in interviews. Like something being sold, rather than someone creating art. He's trapped in his own success, making money hand over fist, but dying creatively inside. Every day on set feels like a prison sentence. He starts acting out, showing up late, questioning scripts, making life difficult for producers, who just want their pretty boy to hit his marks and say his lines. But Johnny Depp isn't built for easy. He's building towards something bigger, something that will define the next chapter of his life and change cinema forever. 1990 arrives like a revelation. Director Tim Burton approaches Johnny with a script called Edward Scissorhands. It's weird. It's wonderful. It's everything Hollywood typically runs away from. A man with scissors for hands, created by an inventor who dies before finishing him. Left alone in a Gothic mansion until a suburban Avon lady discovers him and brings him home. Most actors would read the script and pass. Too risky, too strange. Career suicide. Johnny reads it and falls in love. This is his chance to break free, to show the world that he's not just another pretty face from a teen TV show. He's an artist, a chameleon, someone who can disappear completely into characters that exist nowhere else but in the realm of imagination. Working with Tim Burton becomes a masterclass in creative collaboration. Burton sees Johnny's potential for transformation. Johnny sees Burton's vision for stories that live in the spaces between dreams and nightmares. Edward Scissorhands becomes a cultural phenomenon. Critics rave, audiences weep. And Johnny Depp establishes himself as an actor willing to take risks that other Hollywood stars wouldn't dare attempt. But this is just the beginning. The next 15 years become a kaleidoscope of unforgettable characters, each one more daring than the last. Ed Wood, the world's worst filmmaker, played with such heart and conviction that audiences root for his terrible movies. Raoul Duke in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hunter S. Thompson's alter ego, diving headfirst into the drug-fueled madness of the American dream gone wrong. Ichabod Crane in Sleepy Hollow. A detective so afraid of blood that he faints at crime scenes, yet brave enough to face the headless horseman. Each role is a rebellion against Hollywood's expectations. Johnny isn't building a conventional career. He's creating a mythology, a collection of characters so unique and memorable that they blur the lines between actor and artist. And then comes 2003, the role that changes everything. Disney approaches Johnny about playing a pirate in a movie based on a theme park ride. Pirates of the Caribbean sounds like the kind of corporate filmmaking that Johnny has spent his career avoiding. But something about Captain Jack Sparrow speaks to him. Johnny starts researching pirates, real ones, reads about their codes, freedom, their rejection of society's rules. He watches Keith Richards perform with the Rolling Stones, notices how Keith moves, the swagger, the unpredictability, the way he seems to exist in his own gravitational field. What if Captain Jack Sparrow was part Keith Richards, part Pepe Le Pew, and part pirate? Disney executives watch Johnny's first scenes and panic. This isn't what they ordered. They wanted a conventional action hero. Johnny's giving them something completely different, something that feels dangerous and unpredictable. Is he gay? One executive asks during dailies. Are you sure this is going to work? Another wonders aloud. Director Gore Verbinski and producer Jerry Bruckheimer fight for Johnny's vision. They see what he's creating, a pirate unlike anything cinema has ever seen, charming and treacherous, heroic and selfish, masculine and feminine, all at the same time. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, explodes into theaters in 2003. Audiences lose their minds. Captain Jack Sparrow becomes an instant icon. Kids dress up like him for Halloween. Adults quote his lines. The film makes over $600 million worldwide. Johnny Depp transforms from respected character actor to global superstar overnight. The next few years feel like a victory lap. Pirate sequels, more Tim Burton collaborations, Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland. Johnny becomes one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. His films generate billions of dollars. Magazine covers declare him the sexiest man alive. Fashion. Designers compete to dress him. Photographers fight for sessions. He's not just an actor anymore. He's a brand, a lifestyle, a fantasy that millions of people around the world want to live inside. But success at this level comes with a price. The pressure is enormous. Every choice gets scrutinized. Every film gets compared to the last one. Studios start throwing massive budgets at projects simply because Johnny Depp's name is attached. And somewhere in all that success, something starts to crack. By 2010, the cracks are showing. Johnny's films are becoming less focused, more indulgent. Critics start using words like self-parody and phoning it in. Alice in Wonderland makes $1 billion worldwide, but leaves audiences feeling empty. The magic feels manufactured. The wonder seems forced. Johnny starts spending money like someone who believes the party will never end. Multiple homes, a private island, expensive art, wine that costs more than most people's cars. But the biggest change is personal. In 2012, Johnny meets actress Amber Heard on the set of The Rum Diary. She's 26 years old, beautiful, ambitious, completely different from Vanessa Paradis. The French actress Johnny has been with for 14 years. The affair destroys his long-term relationship. Vanessa, the mother of his children, watches from France as tabloids document Johnny's new romance with a woman young enough to be his daughter. "I was so sad," Vanessa would later tell reporters, "for the children. For us. For what we had built." Together, Johnny marries Amber in 2015. It should be a new beginning. Instead, it becomes the beginning of the end. The marriage is a disaster from the start. Two strong personalities. Two careers pulling in different directions. Two people who seem to bring out the worst in each other. Johnny's drinking, always present in the background, becomes a serious problem. Amber's ambitions clash with Johnny's established lifestyle. They fight constantly, sometimes in public, always in ways that leave emotional wreckage. In 2016, Amber files for divorce. She also files for a restraining order, claiming Johnny has been physically abusive. The allegations hit like a bomb. Johnny Depp, beloved by millions, accused of domestic violence by his own wife. Photos surface showing Amber with bruises. Text messages leak revealing Johnny's anger and substance abuse issues. Hollywood reacts swiftly. Disney quietly distances itself from Johnny. Other studios follow suit. The same industry that made him a billionaire starts treating him like toxic waste. But the worst is yet to come. In 2018, Amber writes an op-ed for the Washington Post about domestic violence. She doesn't name Johnny directly, but everyone knows who she's talking about. "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath," the headline reads. Johnny's career implodes completely. Warner Brothers removes him from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Disney confirms he won't return as Captain Jack Sparrow. Film offers disappear entirely. The man who once commanded $20 million per film can't get hired to play a villain in a low-budget thriller. But Johnny doesn't go quietly. In 2019, he files a defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard for $50 million. He wants his reputation back, his career back, his life back. The case becomes a global spectacle. Cameras in the courtroom. Every detail broadcast live. Millions of people watching like it's the world's most expensive reality show for 6 weeks. In 2022, the world gets an intimate look inside the marriage that destroyed Johnny Depp. Text messages filled with rage and drug references. Audio recordings of fights. Testimony about substance abuse and emotional manipulation. But something unexpected happens during the trial. The public starts to turn in Johnny's favor. Johnny's testimony is vulnerable, raw. He doesn't try to pretend he's perfect. He admits to his addictions, his mistakes, his failures as a husband and a father. But he maintains his innocence regarding physical abuse. And slowly, piece by piece, his legal team dismantles Amber's claims. Witnesses testify they never saw evidence of abuse. Audio recordings reveal Amber admitting to hitting Johnny. Text messages show her manipulating situations for maximum damage. The jury deliberates for 3 days. When they return, they award Johnny $10 million in damages. The courtroom erupts. Johnny's fans, who have been camping outside throughout the trial, celebrate in the streets. But the victory feels hollow. Johnny has won in court, but he's lost 15 years of his life to this relationship and its aftermath. He's 59 years old. His career is in ruins. His reputation is permanently damaged. The question everyone is asking is the same one Johnny is asking himself in private. What now? This is where our story takes an unexpected turn. Somewhere in Hollywood, another actor has been watching Johnny's fall and redemption with intense interest. Someone who sees opportunity where others see damaged goods. Like Johnny, Robert knows what it's like to fall from grace. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Robert was Hollywood's cautionary tale. Brilliant actor destroyed by addiction. Multiple arrests. Jail time. Studios refusing to insure him for films. His career was over. Finished. Done. Until Jon Favreau took a chance on him for Iron Man in 2008. That one decision launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe and turned Robert into one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood history. More importantly, it proved that comebacks are possible. That talent and redemption can overcome scandal and substance abuse. Now Robert is looking at Johnny Depp and seeing himself 15 years ago. According to industry insiders, Robert has been quietly building a plan, not just for Johnny's comeback, but for something bigger. A project that would pair two of Hollywood's most charismatic and unpredictable actors in the kind of film that could remind audiences why they fell in love with both of them in the first place. Sources close to the situation describe it as a boys' club movie. Think The Nice Guys meets Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with the budget and scope of a Marvel film. Two brilliant detectives. One case that takes them from Los Angeles to London to Tokyo. Witty dialogue, incredible action sequences. The kind of chemistry that makes audiences forget they're watching actors and believe they're watching real people living through an impossible adventure. The project doesn't have an official name yet. Industry rumors refer to it as The Gentleman's Game. A thriller about two mismatched investigators tracking an international art theft ring. That turns out to be connected to something much more dangerous. Robert would play the buttoned-up former FBI agent trying to rebuild his reputation after a scandal. Johnny would play the eccentric private investigator with connections to London's criminal underworld. It's the perfect vehicle for both actors. Robert gets to play the straight man while still being witty and charming. Johnny gets to create another unforgettable character while staying grounded in reality. More importantly, it's the kind of project that could remind Hollywood what they've been missing. But here's the thing about Hollywood comebacks. They require more than just good intentions and great scripts. They require belief. From studios, from audiences, from the actors themselves. Johnny Depp has spent the last 5 years in exile, playing small roles in independent films, doing concerts with his band, the Hollywood Vampires, trying to remember who he was before the fame and the scandals and the courtroom battles. The question isn't whether he can still act. Anyone who has watched his recent work knows the talent is still there. The question is whether he wants to put himself back in the spotlight that nearly destroyed him. According to sources close to Johnny, Robert's proposal has forced him to confront that question directly. Does he want to be Captain Jack Sparrow again? Does he want magazine covers and red carpets and the exhausting machinery of modern celebrity? Or is he content to stay in the shadows, playing music and making small films for audiences who still believe in his artistry? The answer might surprise you. People who know Johnny well say the trial changed him in ways that go beyond legal vindication. It reminded him why he became an actor in the first place. Not for the money or the fame, but for the opportunity to disappear into characters and tell stories that matter. The Gentleman's Game offers him that opportunity. It's a chance to work with an actor he respects on a project that could stand on its own merits. No franchises, no sequels, no corporate expectations beyond making a great film. It's the kind of project he hasn't had the opportunity to make since his early collaboration with Tim Burton. But the decision isn't just artistic, it's personal. Johnny Depp is 59 years old. He has 2 children who have watched their father get dragged through public humiliation and legal battles. He has friends who supported him when the rest of Hollywood turned away. He has fans around the world who never stopped believing in his innocence. The question he's asking himself isn't whether he can make a comeback, it's whether he owes it to all these people to try. Robert Downey Jr. thinks the answer is yes. and he's willing to stake his own reputation on that belief. The two actors have been meeting privately for months. Long dinners in out-of-the-way restaurants. Phone calls that stretch past midnight. Conversations about art and redemption and the possibility of second chances. Robert sees something in Johnny that Johnny sometimes struggles to see in himself, says someone close to both actors. Resilience, talent, the ability to transform pain into something beautiful. If the project moves forward, it would be Johnny's first major studio film in over 5 years. His first chance to remind audiences of the actor who once made them believe. A man with scissors for hands could find love, or that a pirate could save the world. But this isn't just about Johnny Depp's redemption. It's about Hollywood's willingness to embrace forgiveness and second chances. For years, the industry has been grappling with questions about accountability and redemption. When does someone deserve a second chance? How do we balance justice with compassion? What does it mean to separate the art from the artist? Johnny's situation is complicated because the court of public opinion rendered a different verdict than the legal system. Millions of people believe he was wrongly accused and unfairly punished. Millions of others remain convinced that his career deserved to end. The Gentleman's Game would force audiences to confront those feelings directly. To decide whether they can watch Johnny Depp on screen without thinking about everything that happened off screen. Robert Downey Jr. believes they can. More than that, he believes they want to. The project is still in early development. Scripts are being written. Budgets are being calculated. Studios are being courted. Nothing is guaranteed in an industry built on risk and uncertainty. But something is shifting, quietly, carefully, like the first green shoots. Pushing through winter soil, Johnny Depp is reading scripts again, taking meetings, allowing himself to imagine a future where he's not defined by the worst moments of his personal life, and Robert Downey Jr. is using every ounce of his considerable influence to make sure that future becomes reality. Everyone deserves a chance to tell their story, Robert said in a recent interview, though he was careful not to mention Johnny by name. Sometimes the most beautiful art comes from the most broken places. The story of Johnny Depp's fall and potential rise is really the story of all of us. The way we build people up and tear them down. The way we demand perfection from our heroes and then punish them when they reveal their humanity. Johnny made mistakes. Serious ones. He struggled with addiction. He made poor choices in his personal life. He allowed success to insulate him from consequences until those consequences became unavoidable. But he also created characters that live in our collective imagination forever. Captain Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, Mad Hatter, Raoul Duke, each one a small piece of magic in a world that may often feels devoid of wonder. The question isn't whether Johnny Depp deserves a second chance. The question is whether we believe in the power of redemption at all. Robert Downey Jr. does, and he's betting his reputation on the possibility that audiences do too. This is Hollywood, where careers end and begin with a single phone call, where fortunes are made and lost on opening weekend, where yesterday's scandal becomes tomorrow's comeback story. Johnny Depp sits in his London flat, reading a script that could change everything. 2 broken detectives, 1 impossible case. The chance to remind the world why they fell in love with him in the first place. Outside his window, the Thames flows toward the sea. Inside, he turns to the next page. The story isn't over yet. Sometimes, the most unexpected friendships lead to the most extraordinary resurrections. Sometimes the people who understand your darkness are the ones who can help you find your light. And sometimes, just sometimes, Hollywood remembers that redemption stories are the most powerful stories of all. The curtain hasn't fallen on Johnny Depp's career. It's just intermission. And if Robert Downey Jr. has anything to say about it, the second act is going to be worth waiting for. What do you think? Can Johnny Depp make a true comeback? Should he? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the stories that shape Hollywood, because in this town, the only thing more dramatic than the movies are the lives of the people who make them.